Panpsychism, a thought on consciousness in everything. Panpsychism is the philosophical view that consciousness is a fundamental and universal feature of all things in the universe. Instead of thinking that consciousness only exists in complex beings like humans or animals, panpsychism suggests that every part of matter, even down to the smallest particles, possesses some form of consciousness or experience, no matter how simple. This idea contrasts with our usual understanding of consciousness, which assumes that it emerges only in highly organized systems like brains. In panpsychism, consciousness is not something that suddenly appears when matter reaches a certain level of complexity, but is instead present at the most basic level of reality. It's not that atoms or rocks are thinking or feeling like humans do, but rather that they might have their own extremely simple form of experience. These micro-experiences in particles could, according to this theory, combine to form the more complex consciousness that humans and animals have. Why panpsychism? Panpsychism arises from a desire to solve the hard problem of consciousness, a term coined by philosopher David Chalmers. The hard problem refers to the difficulty of explaining how and why physical processes in the brain give rise to subjective experience, why we feel things like pain, joy, or the color red. Traditional scientific views often struggle to explain how consciousness arises from purely physical matter. Panpsychists argue that by accepting consciousness as a fundamental aspect of matter, like mass or charge, we bypass the need to explain how it emerges from non-conscious material. The panpsychist perspective. Proponents of panpsychism suggest that it makes sense to view consciousness as a natural property of the universe, just as fundamental as space, time, or energy. They claim it avoids the gap between mind and matter that has puzzled philosophers for centuries. If every particle has a tiny bit of consciousness, then the leap from inanimate matter to complex human consciousness may seem less mysterious. However, panpsychism is not without its challenges. Critics often question how the simple consciousness in particles could combine to create the rich, complex experiences humans have. This is known as the combination problem. How can tiny, independent bits of experience fuse into a unified consciousness like ours? Moreover, there's little empirical evidence to support panpsychism, making it more of a philosophical stance than a scientific one. Though panpsychism remains a fringe idea, it raises important questions about the nature of consciousness and reality. It challenges our assumptions about the divide between mind and matter, proposing that consciousness is a fundamental part of the universe, present in everything from the smallest particles to the largest organisms. Whether or not this idea proves to be true, it offers a fascinating way to think about the connection between the physical and mental worlds.